I always smile when I start these streams now. It's such an amazing thing. Um, I really appreciate the connection and the community and how we'll respect and care for each other. It's a beautiful thing. So happy Hermit's here. Conan's here. Good to see you both. Happy Hermit says, "Oh no, there's Harmony Seekers here. Awesome. Oh, awesome." Harmony Seeker says, "I'm here too. You have to go in about. I have to go in about an hour, but I'll be there for the duration tomorrow." Awesome. Well, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you, and I read your blog post, and I really loved it. I really did. I think you're gonna um, educate and inspire a lot of people with your knowledge, and I'm so excited to see you do this, and it's really beautiful. No, well, yeah, you deserve that. You deserve the praise because it's beautiful. Everything you wrote was just spot on. Like you could write a book, you know, and your choice in your career path now is such a beautiful thing. It's going to help people, and I see what you want to actually. It's a great decision because you're going to get there faster, and you're going to be able to really help people, and it's really beautiful. So you know I'm blessed to have become a friend. you know you're that I consider you a friend, and I hope you consider me a friend. And that we 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 keep our communication going, and inspire each other. And that's a beautiful thing is when people can give each other confidence, and give each other confidence, but also appreciate themselves for being themselves. And I appreciate you for being everything you are. Is you really do inspire me to keep doing what I'm doing. And so thank you. I really I really appreciate you for that. And I think that you've got an amazing bright future that is just it's gonna help others, and it will it's almost like all the things that you've learned, all the things that you care about are all making a sense, and people will appreciate that because of you, because you are an amazing person. So I'm so honored to have met you and to have got to know you a little. And I hope that we get to know each other more over the years and become continue to become friends for a long period of time, for as long as we, friendships don't always last forever, but I think friendships that are based on respect and trust can remain, you know. And I think this is the sort of friendship that we're developing. So you're a very special person. Thank you. Um, I am moved by reading your blog post today, and just how beautifully written it was, and it's the sort of thing that the whole world needs to read this, needs to hear this, needs to see this, needs to know this, needs to feel this, everything. And so you're, you know, you're inspiring me to stay on a path of it's very difficult for me with because I have so many things I want to do, you know, and there's so many things that I'd like to do, and there's so many things you can do, right? So I have to look at what I can do and what I want to do, and it's about prioritizing, you know, and I think purpose is a big thing, is knowing, there's it's one thing to, I mean, it's quite difficult to talk about this, but it's like it's actually quite exciting when you actually find your purpose, and I'm excited that I have a purpose in life, and I'm prepared for all the difficulties that are gonna happen with everything. There's going to be disappointment. There's going to be hardship. There's going to be discontentment. There's going to be failure. But none of those things are going to stop me from continuing on that, you know. And that's why I liked, I have these dreams of like something that is, you know, a, 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 a difficult task, or um, something that's not going to be easy to attain, something that's going to take a lot of work. But even if even if I just even if I write down my ideas, and other people take on those ideas, and I don't even do it myself, and they other people continue on with what I talk about, I'd be just as happy with that. So even if I don't achieve what I want to achieve myself, if other people can achieve the same goal, I'm just as happy with that. Harmony says, "I'm a work in progress, but I'm glad it helped. Everyone has their unique calling." Absolutely, and I think you found your calling, Harmony. Really think you have, and that um, the way you the way you wrote those that blog post, it was like an essay. Really, it was like written in the most beautiful language that the whole world should read. And I think that that's what you want, is that you want this you want the world to become trauma informed and to be a safer, kinder place. And that is a beautiful thing. You know. Jamie Nott's here. How you going, Jamie? Good to see you here. Jamie says hello there. Uh, you're awake and I get to listen while I'm cooking. Awesome. I love it when people are doing stuff when I'm chatting. I love it. It's awesome. I think about what they're doing. Sometimes people are going for a walk in the park. Often people are cooking. Which is, I love it. It's beautiful. Um, and sometimes people are just sitting back listening. And that's why I read through all the comments. Is that you can listen to this. You don't have to watch it. You can listen to it. It's for people to, and you can read it too. If you you know you can connect to the chat through braille interpreter, and you can read it as well. So really, this is accessible to everyone. And I try. It's not easy for me to actually maintain this a consistency with everything. It is difficult, but it does seem to work often. And I think that's because people that come to the chat are very friendly, and we have interesting conversations. Sometimes they're heavy, sometimes they're pretty heavy content. Other times it's very friendly and light and happy, and it's it, I love how there's such a mixture of things. Harmony says, "You do a good job. Don't be hard on yourself." Yeah, thank you. I I have to get better at that. I really do. I'm overly self-critical. So thank you for reminding me, because I need to do that. You know. So I will actively pursue that. And even just saying that to me now, is I feel calm. So thank you for saying that. Um, so like I'll put a lot of words in the description there for the chat tonight. You know, I don't necessarily have to really follow exactly what I said I was going to talk about, but I will give it the opportunity to talk about it. So Jamie says, "I've told you that you're one of my angels, Luke Skywalker." Hear that? Hear what I need when I'm here, and it helps me heal so much. Gratitude, Luke. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Like, and it's mutual. Like, you know, I'm going through a very difficult time in my life for a lot of reasons, and doing this is not just it's a healing thing for me, big time. It's a healing thing for me as well, and um, like knowing that there's people out there that are supporting me, but also know that we're all we support each other. So we're here for each other, and also like in this very difficult time, this gives me an opportunity to just have a distraction, have something different. But it's not just a distraction; it's something it's constructive and positive. So it's um it's so powerful for me. Like it's and that I'm honored that it is helping others. I really am, Jamie, and um, I look forward to this connection. Like I'm so disconnected from society at the moment, and this is my connection to the world, and it's a beautiful connection. It's not like trivial. It's not like um, it's meaningful, and there is a lot of healing. It just happens. Like I think I just need to just sit and reflect, reflect for a few moments, and just um, appreciate this moment because it is special. It's we live in this modern age where we have all this technology and it enables us to communicate like this. It's quite amazing, you know. And the internet is so full of advertising and AI bots, people getting angry at each other, arguing. And this is just a nice, quiet place where we can just have a conversation. We can communicate. We can have a conversation. I'm sorry, I've been up all night, so I am quite tired at the moment. Um, and I did get reasonable sleep yesterday, but I've had nightmares the last few days, and they've been really upsetting nightmares. Like really, I woke up. I woke up the other day, and my eyelids were full of. I was lying flat, and my eyelids were full of tears. So when I woke up, like it was like they were like um, little lakes or dams of tears, and I woke up, and so things are difficult at the moment for me, and they're being expressed through very emotional, painful nightmares. Um, but I'm managing to. I'm functioning. You know, I'm doing everything I need to be doing. Eric's here as well. Awesome. How you going, Eric? Awesome to see you here, mate. Eric says hi, Luke. But Jamie also says, I do understand with the heart. I can be in a room full of people and be disconnected. I stay hermited so much, lol. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's the beauty about this the lovely people that come to this chat is that we can be we're, we're, we understand each other. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, we do. Jamie says, no need for apologies. I'm proud of you. Thank you, Jamie. MJG's here. Awesome to see you here, MJG. Always love it when you're in the chat. And I'm thinking about you all the time. You know, you're a strong person, and you're amazing. So MJG says, hi everyone. Hi Luke. I'm listening at the background. MJG says, yes, you too. Thank you. So that's it. It's like we have these conversations, and the internet's so full of like all this other stuff. And right now we're having a conversation where we're all present, we're all right here, right now, all within a few seconds delay. There's a delay. So when I speak it goes into the computer, and then it goes off to a server, and then off to another, and then it spreads around and then goes all over the world. But it's all within a few seconds. And it's so it's almost like we're all here right now. It's as close to being as present as you can be, and be all over the world at the same time. It's amazing. So I have this, like I talked about this a few times, like where when I'm in a difficult place, I I try to work out how to make things better, and I have this I have a concept for a it's not it's not like a disconnection from society. It's more a healing, a place of healing and rediscovery, starting again, and like a sanctuary. And it seems far fetched. It seems like it's this thing that's not you could never it could never happen. But there's no reason why it can't. And anytime I've come up with ideas, people have always said, "Oh, that'll never happen. That's too much. You're dreaming." Well, yeah, I am dreaming. You know, that's how you. That's how things happen. You dream about them, and then you work out ways of actually arriving to that position. That's alchemy. It's fruition. It's action. You know, um, a farmer dreams of the harvest. They have to like sow the seed, and they have to like tend the field, and they have to like pull the weeds. They hope for rain, and then it doesn't come, and then it finally comes, and then like you get the rain, and then it grows, and then then you have to harvest, and then you have to store the seed. So it's this whole process. But you, if it wasn't for the imagining uh, having something, it would never happen if you didn't actually go through the process of doing it. So everything requires a lot of work. Nothing is simple. But then at the same time, if you break it all down into like parts, it becomes simple. You know, if you start off with something that is basic, and then you add to that complexity, you can arrive to something that is very complex and dynamic. So there's no reason why things can't happen. Harmony says you're ready to move beyond your trauma and experience post traumatic growth. Your nightmares are probably your body processing things. I really I appreciate that. I think that there is that aspect to that, and they were very like it's like they were appropriate nightmares. It's almost like they were part of that, and there was a lot of sadness with it because it showed it was like I was going through pain, but I could see someone that I cared about was thriving, and I was so grateful for that, but I was also sad for my own situation. So there was grieving. There was a lot of grieving involved in it. So yeah, I think that it is a sign that there is that post traumatic growth, and there's been a lot of changes. Like I'm managing triggers. I'm still getting triggered, and they're painful, but they're not the same. They're less now, and I'm grateful for that. I don't have this. I haven't managed to get motivation yet. I'm working on that, and that's you have to. I think that that's the thing. You know, you can't. Motivation doesn't just appear. You have to work on it, and it takes small steps, and then it gets bigger steps, and then it's by pushing through that difficulty. You do get these surges or these um, um, moments of exhilaration, of feelings of motivation and action of motivation, and that comes from doing what you can, just bit by bit, and that's to me that's what doing these streams has been like a major part. Is it's something I've stuck to. I've done. Um, I said I'll do at least one stream a week, and I've been doing more than that, and I've been using it as my healing platform. So whenever I feel the need to just speak, I I speak, and I talk about what I need to talk about, and you know it's such a powerful thing. So it's it's hard for me to talk at the moment because I've got so many emotions happening. Like as I'm thinking about things, I'm feeling them, and then it's causing me to think about other things, and then so yeah, it, it is interesting because this particular moment in time is very unique, and I have had one or two streams that have been similar to this, where I've had like a flood of emotions and lots of things to think about, and that's happening now, and you can probably see it or hear it in my voice and how I'm speaking, the way I'm. It's like I'm being overwhelmed by things, but it's a good thing, you know. It's not like I'm being overwhelmed by things that are making me feel uneasy. These are things that are making me feel good. So I'm happy. I'm not smiling right now, but I'm smiling inside, you know. So Jamie says I got the Dreamer Award in 3rd grade in front of the entire school. That's awesome. It's one of the fondest memories now. That is awesome. See, that's it. Like, it's a special thing, really, isn't it? You know, it's something that we get discouraged. We do get discouraged at a certain point in our lives. We get discouraged, and it's a sad thing that happens. So that's beautiful and I hope you still are a dreamer. You know, I think you are. So don't ever stop dreaming. You know, it's what makes the world. Jamie continues, that video I watched where you were sitting on the porch outside was lovely. My porch, my favorite place. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I will. I'm going to start doing more streams like that outside. Like um, I got a microphone for my phone, so I can do like streaming outside because my laptop goes flat after like half an hour. I barely get half an hour battery life. I'm having issues with the microphone. Unfortunately, it's not syncing with the video correctly. I'm still going through testing. I think it could be too many apps running. When I get it working, I'll start streaming out in the bush and like down the creek, out in the garden. I'll start doing that more often. So yeah, I can even do I can be walking along with the talk showing, here we go, But the beauty, this is a tripod I bought years ago, but it's a little tripod, but like you can also use it as a. So I just got this microphone, and it doesn't necessarily work properly yet. I've got to work through the bugs. There's problems with the syncing, and I don't want to make videos where my voice is out of sync. But it's very upsetting for me. It doesn't happen with this computer, but it happens with the phone camera. I will work it out. I'll sort it out. It's something to do with too many apps running in the background. there's lots of things to sort out. It could be the cache, like delete cache of things. The other thing that really annoys me, right, is when I record stuff with this, it doesn't mirror image, and so everything's backwards or mirrored, not backwards, but mirrored. So I can't work out how to actually correct that. I've tried working through that issue and it still haven't fixed it. I don't want to make videos where things are mirror imaged. Like I want it to be like the way it is, you know. So yeah, thank you for that comment, you know, and that's why I bought that microphone, is so that I can do this stuff out, you know, sit out in the garden or go for a walk somewhere and talk while I'm walking, or sit under a tree or something, you know. Amy continues, my favorite movie of all time is A Moment in Time with Christopher Reeves. Lol. I'll have to watch that movie. I'll write that down. That's why I keep my book and I write down all the stuff. So I watched a video about him the other day, about, you know, how when he broke his back and that horse riding accident and all that stuff, and it was yeah, it was pretty moving, you know, like how after he had that, he didn't give up, you know. It's almost like he showed the rest of the world that, like, you can still have everything taken away from you, almost everything taken away from you, but you can still live. And you know, he had supportive people around, but very supportive people around him, you know. But you know, he proved that, you know, the power of the mind is, and the will of continuing on is amazing. Starbright says, hello, appreciate your channel, Luke. So very much so, with the heart. Thank you, Starbright. No, I appreciate you too. And like, thank you for being here. Like, we're all here. Like, this is the beauty of this. Is like, now I'm smiling. See, I just love this community, you know. Harmony says, breathe in to the overwhelm, regardless if good or bad. It helps me. Yeah, that's a really good comment and advice. You know, is that you know, you know, breathe into it, and then it's, whether it's difficult or easy, appreciate it, and then you can, it can help you. Australiana's here. How you going, Australiana? Awesome to see you here. Says, drum, move, double them, make, create, talk very little, smile a lot. You're changing very quickly, Luke, and being very conscious of what's going on. I saw a poo tube and it was life changing. I love that. You're awesome, Australiana. I love your sayings. I love your sayings. I wrote down, I've got in this book one of your sayings somewhere in here. It's in there anyway. I love it. Starbright says, dreamers are visionary. Yeah, it's true. Jamie says, I will always be a dreamer. I often refer to myself as Star Walker. There you go. It's good. Yeah, it, they say dare to dream, and I think there's something in that. Australiana says, sorry, I meant to write dream, not damn. Dreams are useful. My daughter was dreaming of a cross last night and woke me up to the stove on fire. What? That's that the cat set off. The cat. Here's the link. Bring the cat. Wow, what? Your cat started the fire in the kitchen. Whoa, what's going on? That's a dangerous cat. Like that. That's they say cats got 9 lives. That's like that cat just like it's scary. The cat started a fire in the kitchen. Australiana says, I broke my spine at 23, watched Frida Kahlo and Christopher and walked again. Now I just have pain, but that's lucky. That's amazing that you've come back from that. That is, and like you're such a strong person, Australiana. You inspire me to stay strong and have a good attitude. Your attitude is just such a like happy attitude despite things. Look, I got to quickly take a break, but I'll be back in like 2 minutes. I think it was less than 2 minutes there. That's full on. You broke your spine at 23. I like I had a one and vertebrae 1 and 2, partially broken neck. Not trying to compare. I'm just like saying I suffered similar, but nothing is not as bad. So mine was less. I had what bits of the bone broke off on my neck, and it was broken. But I didn't never had a cast or anything, or was put in a brace. It was a different type of fracture. But then I had 11 and 12 were fused, and they were broke. They like I had physio done where they managed to break it up, and then years later, doing work driving a bobcat, broke it up. So they do move now a little bit, but yeah, I was very lucky. You know, I had an accident that could have killed me, and but I was told I was going to have troubles with my neck. They said, yeah, well, you're going to have troubles when that breaks down, because the bone had been crushed, you know, like broken, but like, I don't know what the way they described it was. So yeah, bits, you know how on the vertebrae you have all the bits of bone that stick out, bits broke off, and that's what they said you'd have troubles with that, because I don't know, but I haven't yet. I did get I did have a cyst on my neck, and I don't know if that was to do with that, but that went away. So let's hope it doesn't get any worse. It hasn't yet. So, but that's amazing that like you've. I mean, I didn't. It didn't like. I didn't have any loss of mobility at all, and they didn't tell me to They didn't put me in a brace or anything. Maybe they should have, but like, I don't know. They did say that it was at risk of getting worse, but it never did. So I was very lucky. But Jamie says, yeah, that's awesome, Australiana. I follow those types of signs. Eric says, I think that's so awesome that you survived that, and you know, like, to break your back like that, it's a severe accident. Like, you don't just break your back easily, you know. So I'm sorry that happened to you. Eric says, I appreciate everyone's honesty and openness. That's a beautiful comment. I do too. It's one of them. Like, with these conversations, it's people just open up. It's great. Jamie says, I have that somewhat in common with you and spinal issues. Was told I would be in a wheelchair when I was a kid, but I'm still walking, and ... I'm still walking. That's amazing. See? That's awesome that you are still walking, and like, you know, it's amazing how the body can heal. Australiana says, cat stood on the dial, the cat that eats rock melon. Well, you should, like, don't punish the cat, and not like, don't keep buying the rock melon, because obviously the cat likes the rock melon. But you can buy those like things that you put over the dials, like childproof things, so that they can't twist the dial and light the thing. But how's that? The cat lit the stove walking on it. And then your daughter had a dream and then woke you up, and the house was on that, like there was a fire in the kitchen. Like, how Isn't that amazing how things like that happen? Yeah. Australiana says, if you cannot laugh, you cannot live. That's it. You've got to laugh. You have to laugh. You have to find the funniness in stuff. It helps you through toughest times, you know. And even that, like the cat. I mean, my cat used to love walking on the stove, you know, but like he wouldn't go near the dials. So your cat must have had fun, like stepping on the dials and like turning them a little bit. And that's dangerous too, because it could like let the gas fill the room with gas, even if it doesn't light. I mean, they've got super safe um, stoves nowadays that switch themselves off if there's no ignition of flame. But still, uh, if only the cat knew that it like. I wonder what happened when the cat saw the flame. Whether it just like ran off, was like, I didn't do that. Nothing to see here, you know. Jamie says, yes, I agree. Yeah, that's it. If you can't laugh, you cannot live. Australiana says, thanks, Jamie. Oh, Janie. Oh, yeah, Jamie. Yeah. I was wondering, I got it wrong. But yeah. Um, I interpret things for others from young. And when I caught that badass, it was from a dream of a number in the Bible that told me he was watching, filming. Dreams are amazing. That's powerful. That is really powerful. So that's like you didn't like you had this premonition from you were able to intuitively. That's full on. That is really full on. And that, yeah, it's so good that you got justice over that and that this person is paying for what they did. And I hope that anyone who was involved is paying as well. Um, Sadly, people get away with too much, and you know, when people when you do get justice, it is good. That's amazing that you had a dream and that. Um, Looking for my water bottle. There it is. I'll get it in a minute. Um, it's amazing that you had a premonition from a dream and you saw a number from the Bible and that it led to you discovering that and it saved you. Like it stopped after that. Australiana continues, brokered at the Real Estate Institute. In their hole and ouch, every spinal injury is horrific to walk with. So it happened at the Real Estate Institute. So I'm imagining that happened on like a flight of stairs or something like that. Because stairs are the most dangerous things in houses. Stairs and showers are the two most dangerous things. Jamie says, I love that, Australiana. I'm a medicine woman in Oklahoma, USA, with the heart and the stars. Australiana says, you have to carry your head. Ouch. Get fit. I have a few blow up rafts for a start, lol. Yeah, awesome. I've got some kayaks actually, too. And I've got a reservoir just near me, except my old ute, I used to be able to like put them on the back, but the one I've got now, I can't carry the kayaks. So I can't take the kayaks to the reservoir. So they just sit there. I do have one of those wheel things where you can wheel it. And it is within distance where I could possibly wheel the kayak to the reservoir, but it's a little bit too far. And you know what I could do? I could actually build like a timber frame that sticks out of the back of the ute because it's got a canopy on the back. I could build a frame that sticks out of the back of the ute that I could put the kayaks on. That could work. Maybe there's a way I could do this. But the kayaks are like 3.5 meters long, and the back of the ute's 1.2. No, it's more than that. 1.4. So that stick out's over halfway. I'll think about that. But yeah, you've got inflatables. Inflatables are cool. So it's awesome. I hope you get to go. I'd be scared. You wouldn't go out in the ocean side. You'd be in the channel where you go there. I've been there myself in boats. It's awesome. And it's cool at low tide as well, where the sandbars, and you have to you almost get stuck on the sandbars all the time. Australiana says, Jamie, I'm helping find the missing over here. Intel in AU her. I'm helping find the missing over there. Jamie's got the heart. That's awesome. Australiana says, here, government, I look for things. Perhaps that has helped me see past trauma and accept from the get-go. Yeah, that's interesting, hey. it opens your, like, what happens with stuff like this, things that happen to you, they wake you up and make you see more, and then you become aware of all this other stuff, and that can be a burden, and it can also be a blessing, and it just depends on how you take it, and it can be overwhelming. So, Cage Pastor's here. Awesome to see you here, Cage Pastor. Cage says, hi everyone, wishing you well. Awesome. Wishing you well as well. Jamie says, same with me. Australiana says, lol, no soup for you, cat. She pounces on the solar plexus when I'm sleeping, talking. My cat used to do that as well. My cat used to do this and like wake me up when I'd be asleep. Start like doing that. And if I wouldn't wake up, like then the claws would come out and then I'd wake up. So it was, yeah, it's funny when they do that. Cats are awesome. Jamie says, angels. Cage Pastor says, that's incredible story, Australiana. Glad you saved the house. Absolutely. Isn't it? Place could have burnt down because of the cat. Got to watch out. You got to watch out for cat lit the stove. The cat lit the stove. It's full on. Australiana says, it's a sensor hot plate for F's sake. I cannot get my head around it either. Now I shall lock it. Yeah, totally. Go to one of those department stores that have got all this child safety lock stuff, and or get one of those locks that you can put out on the thing. Could have just started a fire. Australiana says, I dreamt my husband was gay and he was. That was rather useful. Saved me more renovations. That's full on. You've had a lot of dreams like that. So you dreamt there was the betrayal, that betrayal that happened, and then that. Cage Pastor says, Australiana, that's much larger story there. I'm sure it hurt. Glad you made the best of it. Yeah, she's been through a lot, hey? But she's got the best attitude, amazing attitude for like just not letting stuff get you down. Australiana says, I'm re-stumped. Tree Hulk that had been mowed over. Did not see it. Just kinked myself, twisted my pelvis, and spine busted. Kayaks like me, and the water is 100 meters from me. Awesome. Wait, there's a couple of things going there. That's how you broke. That's how you broke your back. So you're walking along flat ground and you tripped on a tree stump, because they're so dangerous, hey? They are so dangerous. Like we had one, like my next door neighbor had one on their footpath, and I like spent 3 hours like grinding it with my chainsaw because it was such a hazard. I was like, people are going to trip on this and fall over and hurt themselves, and I spent like 3 hours. They never even thanked me for it. I blunted like a blade obviously blunted it, but like got dirt all in the chainsaw, and like I had to use chainsaw and chisel, and like 3 hours I spent doing it, and they never even thanked me for it. It was like a tree stump, not a tree stump. It was a tree root that had like grown up out of the ground. I'm sorry that's how that happened, but that shows how easy it is to like have a serious accident and break your back. You don't have to fall off a height. But that's awesome. You're like just 100 meters from water. That's awesome. Australiana says having a weird ability from very young has helped. It's best become friends with your talents. Yeah, that's a really good. That is good. I think my ability was basically just to deal with stuff, and like yeah, I don't know, extreme trauma, and remain happy. Unfortunately, it meant that I was still susceptible to being manipulated, and like it would have been better if I became more aware, and um, but then I wouldn't have been so happy and friendly. So even, but then it was, even though I was happy and friendly, I really wasn't. I was going through pain inside. So it's a difficult thing to actually, because both things were happening at the same time. But I don't regret being a happy, friendly person despite all the pain, if that makes sense. Timothy Gallagher's here. Awesome. How you going, Timothy? Timothy says dark lighting in the opening frame. There you go. I wasn't sure if it was lighting that was dark, but it's brighter here. Oh, you mean like in the in the the screenshot for the thing was like a sunrise, which I had for the picture. It's solstice. Happy solstice, everyone. It's the longest day of the year. It's the longest day of the year and the shortest day of the year, depending if you're in the northern hemisphere, it's the shortest day of the year. It's the longest day of the year here. It's often solstices are very memorable for me for good and bad reasons. So I do take time to reflect. Um, Jamie says, my 5-year-old and I both are open to our gifts, so I understand. Yeah, that's it. It's it's good to embrace your quirks or your abilities, you know. Be appreciative of those things, because like that, like, like what Australiana was saying, she had these dreams that were prophetic, and then um, she was vindicated. And I've had intuition over things, and then I've been vindicated over, and it's not nice, because often it's to do with things of betrayal and hardship, and it's like, um, it's even worse when you're trying to let people know about something, and then no one's listening to you. That's painful. And then you get vindicated, and then you're like, no one apologizes. No one says, oh, I'm sorry, I should have listened to you. So I've gotten used to that. I don't say, oh, I told you so. I don't gloat or say I told you so, because it's often about stuff that's horrible, hardship or betrayal, and so you don't. It's either um, internalized hurt because it comes from exterior that other people don't experience, or it's a shared hardship that we all experience, and you know we're all going through the pain. Um, but you still expect for people to acknowledge that you are correct, that they should listen to you, and especially when, and this has happened to me many times, but like for some quite significant things in the last few years, where I was basically screaming out to people, listen to me. This is what's happening. And this is over two separate issues which were connected, and no one was listening. They didn't want to accept it. And then when it happened to be that I was absolutely correct on both things, didn't even get, I wasn't expecting an apology. I was at least expecting some understanding. Oh, look, yeah, acknowledgement. Didn't even get that. And that really upset me. Just goes to show not to expect that sort of, not to expect that stuff, you know? And I understand those things were too difficult for these people to accept, but like I was basically repeatedly saying, this is something we need to be very concerned about. And there were two separate issues that were connected, and no one was listening to me. And then it turned out that I was correct on both things. And it happened a third time. It actually happened a third time. And the third time was actually the most upsetting because I said, "This is not good. This is not going to end. This is going to do more damage than um, any benefit." No one listened to me, and the result was absolutely heartbreaking. And if only they'd listened to me. Yeah, I think this is something that what I'm talking about right now is something that's going to take me 10 years to get over because this is to do with something that was the wrong decision that was made, and it didn't actually make anything better. It made it worse. So I had three things. It wasn't just two, it was three things. And I was right on all three things. And no one listened to me on any of them. No one apologized or acknowledged. And yeah, it's going to take 10 years or more for me to actually even get over this. I don't know if, yeah, I'm used to people basically not listening to me and infantilizing me, making out like I'm not capable. Um, I'm also used to people actually talking behind my back. I'm used to people making decisions without actually consulting me because they don't think that I'm worthy of being part of the conversation. And all those things really hurt. So I've learned to not just put up boundaries, is to just walk away. I'm not taking it anymore. I'm just living my life, and there's only so much you can take of that sort of treatment from people before you basically don't want to ever speak to them ever again. And that's where I'm at with people, certain people, and it's very sad. Um, I'm not being vindictive or judgmental. All I'm doing is protecting myself because I've been hurt too much, too many times. So it's humiliating to be treated that way, and to have that. I've essentially been treated like that most of my life, and then so to have three very serious major things in the last year and a half, 2 years, be disregarded, not listened to, and then I was right. I was correct on all three things, and didn't get anyone come and say sorry. So I'm sorry. I don't mean to be whinging here, but this is something that really upset me, and it's essentially caused me to cut ties with people in my life because I just won't take this treatment anymore. And I gotta support myself and stand on my own 2 feet. Not rely on, not expect a single thing from these people. So I'm not bitter about it. I'm saddened by it. And these very same people are not capable of apologizing for things that they've done to me. On top of all this. So best thing I can do is just pretend they don't exist and live my life. It's very sad, but it's not me doing this. It's them. All I'm doing is protecting myself. I'm giving them the opportunity to apologize, and they're choosing not to. So sorry to bring everyone into this. I'm not speaking in any details whatsoever, so no one knows at all what I'm talking about. But you understand how serious this is for me to actually go into this. So enough of that. I'll get back to reading the chat and I'll start smiling again. So that's what I'll do. Um, Cage Pastor says prophetic dreams can be a blessing or a curse. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. Timothy Gallagher says that's the lesson. Don't let things drag you down. Funny term being called coffee badging as a slang, and you just let it get forward in spite of sorry, and you just want to get forward in spite of hiding the tears with pain. Yeah, totally. I'll look up that slang. I'm interested. Australiana says, thank you for your connection. It's rare to want to chat. I feel inspired. If you want to ever share too, safe space here. Yeah, totally. Timothy Gallagher says chainsaw chisels challenging. Yeah, totally. It was and when you're grinding, it was grinding a tree like a tree root stump growing out of the ground. So like you keep hitting the dirt, so it just mucks up your chain, mucks up your chainsaw, everything. But it fixed it, and it's still, you know. Australiana says, why not put your tiles in every hole over Brisbane? They'll get popular. That's an awesome idea. I could go around fixing potholes. I could be like one of those guerrilla artists fixing potholes around Brisbane. They'll be like, there's some mysterious artist filling potholes. We don't know who it is, but he keeps making these interesting patterns. Maybe I could do that. It's cool how you see that people do that around the world. They fill in potholes with make it artistic and stuff. Australiana continues. Funny though, I was doing public liability exam on the day. Oh, when you had your accident, you were doing a public liability examination of a property, and you're walking around and you trip and break your back. At least hopefully your employer was covered, and hopefully that they paid for your rehabilitation and work cover and all that. I know when I had my accident, I got barely any work. They gave me a few like visits to the chiropractor. Like I should have sued him for millions, and I didn't. And I've talked about this on my channel. I had a chiropractor offer free. He'd heard about my accident. Very suspicious. Very suspicious. He'd heard about my accident. Oh, I can offer you free work. He does. He says. And then I go in there. He goes, bring in your x-rays. I want to see your x-rays. So I bring in my x-rays, you know, and then he goes, okay, I'm going to take some x-rays and then I'll do some work. He took x-rays and then he spent 5 minutes doing this on my wrist and like that for 5 minutes. And then he grabs my x-rays and puts them in his drawer. And I said, no, they're my x-rays. You can't take them. They're mine. And he goes, no, they're mine now. He goes, I gave you free x-rays, right? He goes, I gave you free x-rays. These x-rays are mine now. And he shut the door on his thing. I was like, no, I was 18 years old. No, I wasn't even 18 years old then. I was still a minor. And he did that. I wasn't even 18 years old. He did that to me. And he was a professional. And he stole my x-rays. And I was liable to take this this huge company that did this accident that almost killed me, that I could have sued them for millions of dollars. He stole my x-rays. Showing a broken neck. So I'm not drawing conclusions here, but it was all a bit suspicious that this guy was offering free work, and then he stole my x-rays. You know what I'm saying? And then when I told a psychologist about it, he went off at me. He goes, "Oh, it's your fault. You know, you could have just got another copy." And I'm like, I was a child. I wasn't even 18 years old. I just had a major accident. Like, I was tricked into doing this thing, like, and he stole my x-rays, and I told him, and he goes, "No, these are mine now." And I'm like, how can he take my x-rays? They're my property. He took them from me. And he goes, "Oh, you could have just got other copies." I was like, "Mate, this was like 1995. No, it was 96 then. It was like maybe March or May 1996." And back then, x-rays, you couldn't just get copies of x-rays. You know, like when you had an x-ray, that was the thing. Like, they didn't keep copies of them. Computers didn't have, you couldn't, it's only in the modern times where you had backups of stuff like this. So he made me feel like I was a fool for complaining about being tricked into having my evidence, which was evidence that would have been something that I could have taken to a court and like claimed compensation, and how I was betrayed, and how badly I was felt and being betrayed. And he made me feel like I was like an idiot. So look, not all therapists and psychologists are good. Sometimes they can do more damage. And the guy who gave me free, he spent 5 minutes doing this and went like this, and then he took my x-rays. The amount of times I've experienced malfeasance is unbelievable. Sorry to go off about myself and like get all upset about stuff, but like, there's some nasty people in this world. I'll try and be happy again. I have noticed I've been getting caught up in the negative, and I don't like that. It's okay to vent, you know. Sometimes I get on here and I vent about stuff, but that was something, you know. Basically tricked by a professional to have the evidence that would have given me compensation for a serious injury claim stolen from me. And I was not even 18. And the accident was because of a severely unsafe work practice. So there would have been no question at all as to whether I was going to get any, like, if I said I want this much money, they would have had to have paid out because what they asked me to do was unsafe. Six months after my accident, there was actually changes to the laws in work practices to do with heights. So we're talking about a company that earns billions and billions of dollars a year. Anyway, I'll try and get back to the chat. I'll stop going off about that stuff, but there's a reoccurring thing in my life of manipulation, coercion, control, and stealing from me. And yeah, that's why I get upset about this stuff. Um, but I wrote that down. Coffee badging. Coffee. I'm gonna look it up. But yeah, sorry if I got all negative, and I hope I haven't turned anyone off with me just going off about stuff. Australiana says, funny though, I was doing, yeah, that's right. And that's what upsets me about that. You're doing a public liability audit, and then you have an accident that breaks your back. And it's just like, it's upsets me, you know. It's you I mean, it's good that you've healed from it. Cage Pastor says, my daughter broke her back 2 weeks ago. Her L35. Being young definitely helps. I'm grateful she's already back to school, enjoying her friends again. For her, it was only a week in hospital. That is really heavy, and like, broke her back at school. No, she's back at school. That's amazing. I hope she heals, and that you're right, that the when you have a severe injury like that, you can heal completely from it. So I hope that she does, within 6 months, be back running around. Let's hope that that's the case. Timothy says, "Oh wow, does Australia make people study some law exam for landscaping, much like in the US, in the States?" I know. I used to watch when I was doing landscaping and handyman work. I used to watch a lot of channels doing, like concreting and landscaping and stuff. And America's very much, they have inspectors come and check everything out. We have the same in Australia. We have, it's more for larger construction. It's a little bit more lax with that, which is unfortunate. But at the same time, some of the inspections are over the top in America, but they're for retaining and for water drainage. It's totally understandable that if people don't follow the standards, then it's just going to be a disaster. And we're seeing it here with a lot of construction where people just haven't followed standards, and it just causes massive problems. So I can understand why they're pretty full on about certification of signing off on things. And it is a big topic. It's something that costs a lot of money. Not everyone pays attention to it, so some people, work gets done without people actually properly checking it, and other times people have to get things checked all the way through, and it costs them so much money to actually, in lost time, it makes the job unprofitable. So it's a very difficult subject. It's interesting because there's two sides to it, and also both sides go too far. You got dodgy people doing dodgy work. You got inspectors not inspecting. Then you got inspectors inspecting stuff, over inspecting, and criticizing stuff that's done right. There's a massive problem in Australia with people not building stuff to code or to standards, and somehow it passing inspection, and then they hand the property over to the client, and it's just water's getting in everywhere. People inspect it afterwards, and it's just the dodgiest building methods. So there's a lot of because Australia's had a massive building boom. It's basically created this problem. So I mean, it was always there, but it's just way worse now. And people invest their whole life savings in getting a house built, and then they find out that it's all just rubbish. So it's pretty sad. Australiana says your trauma was for making better tiles. See, I love your attitude, Australiana. I love that. See, I love it. Just turns, put a smile on my face, and made me appreciate things. So, Cage Pastor says she's still got 6 months in a brace. 6 months wearing a brace, that's full on. I hope it's not too like restraining or uncomfortable. At least it's winter. I mean, that's at least one thing. It's winter, so like if it was summertime, that would be worse because it would be more uncomfortable. I just realized I was chatting for so long, the chat got away, and I didn't realize how far behind the chat I am now. I'm so far behind, like ridiculously far behind. Where am I? I'm so far. Like I'm just gonna have to speed read. Australiana says Cage Pastor. Oh my god, yeah. I know it's horrible news. Like hopefully your daughter is gonna heal quickly. We're all thinking of you. Are you sure here? How you going? Are you sure? Awesome to see you here. It's awesome. Are you sure says hi everyone. It means so much to share this space. Much love. All chat is going well. Love it. Awesome. Thank you for that. Are you sure? You're a legend. Happy Hermit's here. Happy Hermit says, good to see you, Happy Hermit, by the way. Hi all, happy Friday. Yeah, happy Friday and happy solstice. It's solstice for you tomorrow. It's solstice here today. It's now Saturday. But solstice happens over 3 days, really. You know, it's not just one day. It's and you could also argue it really only happens in a region of the planet. Like, if you really want to be particular, you could argue that there's one geographical area that gets the longest day compared to everywhere else. Or shortest day, because you're in the northern hemisphere. Cage Pastors, Australiana says Cage Pasta Zen spray is the best ever. The menthol, or I don't know how to say that, Kajaput, the Tiger Balm also, yeah, there you go. Get some of that stuff and send it to your daughter. Like for the pain relief. Timothy Gallagher says, isn't LED lighting oh so actual sunrise? Happy solstice. That's classic. The light behind me is LED lighting. I've got LEDs in this room. I've got ones above and my torch. I use my torch for that light in the background. I think I've got it on too bright today. I should have had it on the lower setting. Or I've got it on the focus beam, so that's why it looks like that. Cage Pastor says, hi, Happy Hermit, and are you? Timothy says, few, yeah, south of the equator. Exactly, mate. We're in the summer solstice. You got the winter solstice. Are you sure? Says, hi, Cage Pastor, with the hands, with the waving hand. Cage Pastor says, yeah, we've been using Tiger Balm. I'll have to look into Zen spray. There you go. That's some good inside knowledge for the health, the best medical remedies. That's it. Jamie says, "Happy winter solstice where I am, with the heart and the flame and the heart." It's a hard one for me. My partner who crossed over, oh, sorry to hear that, almost 3 years ago, birthday starts at midnight. I have a pumpkin to go into tonight. Yeah, look, I'm really sorry to hear that. There was someone from the chat the other night too. Her her child died, and it was the 21st. I can't remember her name, but it was from just the other day. And I'm sorry to hear that you have that anniversary yourself. And it was your partner, so I'm really sorry to hear that, Jamie. So you know, somehow it's I can't even think of words with that sort of stuff. Like, it's thinking like it is the pain, but also the cherishing the good memories. It's such a difficult thing to even think about. And it's not even me, it's you, you know. But I can't even express how to explain it. I think I have difficulties with that, with grief and loss. And but if anything, if you can spend that time thinking about that person and loving them, sending that love to that person is something you can do. Timothy Gallagher says, "Wish you the best for solstice." Thank you. Australiana says, "If I assume myself to be a human with special qualities, nothing happens. When I accept um, I'm a bulk monkey with animalistic instinct, the awareness is immediate." Yeah, that's a really interesting thing. So be non-assuming and just be very like, break it down to just instinct, and that makes things better. Timothy says, "You might like listening to the Hives. Give that band a chance. Helps you get over that I told you so." Yeah, I'll write that down. I remember when they were big for a while. Timothy Gallagher says, "I think that's a pipe in a toilet. Just learn to flush after." Oh no, that's not a pipe. That's like a plunger. Just learn to flush after. How folks forget to. Yeah, totally. Australiana says, if they listen, Luke, how does it change anything? Being correct is nothing. Understand narcissism and how much you've had around you. Go to police, not people. Yeah, totally. I hear what you're saying. I totally hear what you're saying. Cage Pastor says lol to Timothy with the plunger in the toilet. Are you sure says, We're nearing winter solstice in northwest hemisphere. Moments like these make me happy to share a space and be me, which is now Googling on the solar system. Awesome. Place to grow up. This is my personal experience. It's awesome. Jamie Nott says, I like that. Are you sure with a heart? Timothy Gallagher says, once in a while, there's a satellite cam from outer space. Shouldn't have a hold a grudge for so long. Timothy Gallagher says, care providers don't get listened to either. Yeah, that's true. I totally get that. That's something that they grapple with. Australiana says, don't give it 10 years but put it in a basket. I wasn't only filmed, but he went in the pedo wing. And if you get my drift, don't feel guilty. Some things you can never have stopped. Yeah, look, I hope that they caught. Like, I know you said he's in jail. I hope they put other. I hope he wasn't the only. I hope there was more people they put in jail. Like, what do they do with them? They can't just let him go. They got to do something with him. Like, that's some sick shit that they did. Like, I'm so angry over this. You know, I want more justice. Like, I got so angry. I saw this news the other week, and it was this woman who was a whistleblower for this one of the worst serial pedos, like, and she worked for the church, and she got raided by the federal police because the church sent them there. The church had that much power. They said she was stealing confidential documents. She was a freaking whistleblower for this guy who'd been doing this shit for 10 years or something. They need to go and, like, basically put this guy's in jail now, right? They need to go and, like, catch 10 or more people who are working for the church and say, sorry, you're going to jail for this shit. You fucking let this shit happen for so long. I'm sorry, but they sent federal police to this woman's house who was the whistleblower for this guy, and she is, like, fully traumatized. She can't even work anymore. I'm just disgusted at how this system works. Like, don't even get me started with this shit. I've been a victim of Commonwealth crimes, right? When I was 19 years old, I was a victim of a Commonwealth crime, which is one of the highest crimes that exist in this country. Not directly, I was a victim as part of the crime. And my life has suffered ever since. And I've also been a witness to criminals who have perpetrated a Commonwealth crime. And I contacted the federal police a couple of months ago, asking for a liaison to contact me, to console me over the shit I've lived with for the last fucking 27 years. Never got a fucking answer from them. All I want is for someone to call me and say, I'm sorry you went through this shit. No one called me. You wonder why I put in the description of this thing, I'm owed over 20 million bucks. I've got I've got a list that goes back to when I was a child of shit that happened to me that is beyond. But that, just that thing that happened when and the last one, which was 2013, I was witness to people that were the people that had basically committed a Commonwealth crime, and I was traumatized by it. And when I was 19, I was a victim of one of these situations. And I contact the federal police and ask them to get a liaison officer to contact me. I just want to speak to you. I've gone through this shit in my life and I just want to get past it all. And that's what I said in the email. No one ever contacted me. I just wanted to speak to someone. No one contacted me. This was months ago. I'm disgusted by that. When I was 19, this thing that happened was an international incident that involved a famous international person. This incident would have made it to the Queen of England's desk. I'm not fucking shitting you. I was assaulted that night. I was assaulted twice. There was an insurance claim that was made where people made millions of dollars off this situation. And I was kicked to the curb and forgotten about. And I contacted the federal police and I just said, I want to fucking just end this shit and move on with my life. And I didn't even get a fucking phone call. I asked for someone to talk to me. That's all I asked for. I said, can someone just speak to me and just help me move on from this? I lived in fear of my own life for fucking almost 20 years. I'm sorry. You can understand I've got a lot of shit that I'm really upset about. And I can't talk in detail about it. I gave you some details, but I won't go into any more detail. But everything I told you is absolutely 100% truth and correct. And I didn't even get a phone call. Now you see why I want to start a charity to save people who are victims of Commonwealth crimes, victims of the most horrible shit. If everyone put a few dollars in we could start this thing. We really could. Sorry, I'll try and catch up with the chat, but I got gross misjustice, injustice. I don't know how to say it. But yeah, I know what it's like to fear your own life for a long period of time. It's not nice. You give up on things. You just drink alcohol and work shitty jobs and give up on everything. My art career has been fucking screwed over by this. My music career screwed over by this. Not that I was ever going to make any money, but everything, my whole life. I don't have a family because of this. I should be a father. I should have a wife. I should have a house. I should have a career. None of this because of all of this shit that happened to me. Other people made millions of dollars off this shit that happened when I was 19. So the person who was responsible, it wasn't just one person. There was 6 people that were the main involved. They've all suffered because of it, because it's not like this thing wasn't known. This is an incident that was hushed. So an insurance claim was made, right? I was neglected. I was the victim that night. Twice I was assaulted. My life was completely changed forever. And all I asked was for someone to call me to help me move on. And I didn't even get a phone call. I got a phone right here. Fucking call me. Too busy covering up crimes. That's what I reckon. Sorry, I don't want to say anything bad against the federal police. But hey, all I asked was for them to call me and help me through something that has. I have no ill intentions. All I have is good intentions for the world, and not just good intentions that have got bad outcomes. I want good outcomes. I want us to actually fix this place. There's too much bullshit that goes on in this place. I'm sorry. I got upset. I hope I haven't turned. Yeah, people probably left because I started going off about stuff. At least it's still streaming. I haven't been censored. I'm trying to watch what I say. I don't want people to. I want to help people, but you got to understand, people get damaged by this world. You know, Timothy says, yeah, neither the emergency room assistants. Jamie says, I understand this. Do well, Luke. I will always be in the process of forgiving the unforgivable. See, this is helping me feel better. I'm sorry I went off on that tangent and got upset and just, I hope I wasn't upsetting people the way I was speaking then. Timothy says, honest, it's a good thing. Don't have to climb fences to be recognised. It's a good comment. Australiana says, move away from those people. Grey rock them. That's a really good one, Grey rock. You aren't youngest in the family or the scapegoat forever. A grown man need not look to others for approval and validation. Just begin again. That is Australiana. That's a beautiful comment. Thank you so much for that. I love it. I will take that on board and I will follow that. I will. Cage Pastor says processing pain takes all the time and no time at all. There's no shame in either way. That's a beautiful comment, Cage. Australiana says, Jamie, if they are not waking up and asking for forgiveness, don't. It's a toxic form of forgiveness. Let God deal with them. Lighten your load. That's a good comment. Timothy's got like the buckets. I can't see what that emoji is, but yeah, bucket and a sponge, maybe. I don't know. Looks like a toilet roll as well, but I can't work it out. It says, don't feel bad. Just remember how much better things will be. Small after the cleaning process. That's what it is. So it's just scrubbing and cleaning. Australiana says, Timothy, love it. Mop it up, buttercup. Australiana says, I let those people know I see them when I'm available and do not call. Want nothing from them. Let them live their mind, embrace you. Timothy says, you're a great podcast host. Now, this one it's a keeper. Awesome. I'll keep doing this, brother. I'll keep doing it. And I watch what I say too. I won't go on about all this stuff. I had to have a moment just before because I'm really upset and I think I actually just need to go and take a breather and I'll come back and I'll be calm. So just give me 2 minutes. Almost forgot my bottle of water. So Jamie says, yeah, I needed to hear all that, Luke. Thank you. In a way, each of us needed to hear it, Luke. Thank you. Jamie says, but of course, Timothy. Cage Pastor says, I've got to leave in 10 minutes. I'm grateful for everyone here. Wish you all the best weekend. Love, rest, and healing. Thanks for being here, Pastor. Catch up next time. Timothy says, Driller Artist Podcast. I'll look that up. Are you sure? Says, grieve it. Oxidation lessens within and body heals. Thank you. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Are you sure? Feel it. Let the emotions, let it happen. Don't be afraid of it, and let it be. It works. Jamie says, love to you, Caged. Australiana says, it was at the college for real estate, and yes, I sued them and became a mathematician. There you go. So, like, Holy changed your life after that. You know, it's amazing how those things change everything. You know, and I'd love to get back into learning maths. You know, I had learning difficulties from the trauma, developmental issues. I had potential to become good at maths, and major childhood trauma created arrested development, and I couldn't conceptualize certain things, couldn't focus properly, and I also had societal problems with the education system. So it created like a disconnect. So like when I could have learned maths, it was like a major barrier. And so as much as I want to learn it, you know, it's something that I want to rediscover. You know, I want to start from the beginning again. Basic trigonometry, you know, and arithmetic and algebra, quadratic equations, matrix mathematics, you know, like just build up slowly. Then, you know, functions and things like that, you know, so that's awesome that you learned something new after your accident, and that hopefully it opened up opportunities for you. Timothy says, expose questionable chiropractor on a Driller podcast. Yeah, there you go. That's how far behind the chat I am, because I was talking about that ages ago. But then maybe people stopped chatting when I started really going off, because I really did go off before about stuff. And I'm sorry if I upset people.
Timothy says that's how it's done in Australia. Are you sure? Says much love, Jamie. Timothy says, oh my God, Luke, get a podcaster to interview you. Yeah, I know. I thought about like going on someone's podcast and talking about stuff. But I'd have to be, anything I talk about, I can't talk about it in detail because I don't want to make myself a target. I'm already afraid of that. So, but there are things that I can talk in detail about. Timothy says, Luke doesn't know how it's done in Australia, but can be done. Can anyone be sued for that? Yeah, well, this was so long ago now. This was so long ago. I was 18. I wasn't even 18 when that happened. So I'm 46 now. So Timothy says technology, radiology has improved over the decades since the 1990s. Exactly. The machines were these massive boxes full of like memory chips that were like big memory chips that only had like 8 megs or a couple of megs of data. And then, it's only now that it's all fast and all that, even now it still takes time and they're big computers, but like it's completely different now compared to what it used to be. So that's what I'm saying. Back when I got those x-rays, they kept x-rays on tape, and like they taped over the tapes. They didn't keep every tape, you know what I mean? So if you didn't get a copy within a certain amount of time, it was gone forever. Australiana says, "Got go look at the water. Sharing will do that. It means a calm afternoon. Folk painting, past is the past." That's a beautiful saying. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you're off enjoying the water now, Australiana. If you've left, and I hope it wasn't because I started going off about stuff. But you're right. I listen to what you say. I've got to let go of the past, and that's what got me so upset. I was just wanting to move on, and I never even got a phone call. No one ever reached out to me. I asked for someone to speak to me. Nothing. Jamie says it's taken up with a different type of counsel. Timothy says you might get pro bono advice. That part is free. Yeah, I totally thought about getting a lawyer. I think that time's passed. I just want to do what I can. It's like I said in the thing, I'll try and start something with nothing, with $1. I want to try and start this charity with $1. I'm never going to see any compensation for anything. So why not try and actually just start a charity with $1 and see where it goes? In some US states, you can still go after folks. At least a few might lose their but wants to know, can folks get punished for technology radiology? Yeah, well, I don't know. It's malfeasance, that. It's like theft. Oregon State LLC would enjoy listening to this story. Oregon State Bar. Well, yeah, send them an email and see if they want to reach out. Likes to see justice get served. Saint expedite method. Australiana says, if you're aware of coercion, begin again. Don't live in it. That's a really good comment. I'm getting better at that, Australiana. I am. I know people's tactics. Like, people, it's easy. People just 3 times, they push and they push and they push, and eventually I agree. I'll say no. And they'll go, oh, but I need you to do this. And I'll say, no, I won't because of this. And they'll say, yes, but oh, look, I really need you to do this because I can't do this and this and that. And I'll say, no, it's not right. This shouldn't I don't want to be doing this. It's bad for me. No. And they go, look, I need you to do this. You have to do this. And then I buckle, and that's so I need to, like, when someone does it 3 times, I walk away. That's what I do now. It took me my whole life to learn this. See, the thing is, people train in the dark art of coercion and manipulation. They train in it. They learn how to manipulate and coerce people. It's very sad, but this is the world we live in. So you have to learn how to protect yourself against it. Timothy says, yeah, it's not negative, just very fascinating. Yeah, thanks, man. Jamie says, false positivity is not healthy, and you're understood. Timothy Gallagher's got the hearts and the clubs. I'd wish someone would do something, but it's holiday season. Perhaps this is the best venue at the moment. Awesome. 6 Cents Amelia's here. How you going? Kia ora, 6 Cents Amelia. Just when I think I'm catching up, I'm so far behind on the chat. But yeah, 6 Cents Amelia says, Kia ora, good afternoon, Luke community. Happy summer solstice. Exactly. Awesome. Winter solstice in Northern Hemisphere. Timothy Gallagher says, Portland, Oregon, Pacific Northwest has weekend podcasts about construction techniques once in a weekend. 6 Cents Amelia says, she'll be right attitude. I love that with a thumbs up. Timothy says, Australia went through fires and floods. Totally. We go through it all. Timothy Gallagher says, yeah, some folks need to keep flotation device in case of floods. Totally. So I've got some kayaks here. If worst comes to worst, I can always grab the kayaks out and like sit in them. Luckily, where I am, it'll flood, but it won't flood like that. So I'm far enough away from the river, from the creek. But this room will flood. It flooded in 2022. It flooded in 2016 during Debbie. So I went through a lot of pain. When it flooded in 2022, I went through a lot of pain so I have to actually get a pump, one of those electric pumps that, yeah, I've got to do that because we're going to get major floods in about February, March, April, May. Sometime in those 4 months, we're going to get big floods. And if I don't have a pump set up, it's going to flood my room again. So I have to do that. Timothy Gallagher says, yes, some, oh no, I read that one. Jamie says, good evening, winter here where I am, 6 cents. The heart, the flame in the heart. Timothy Gallagher says, don't worry, take your time. Jamie Knott says, with the laughs, that's fantastic, Luke. You lost track. Good for the soul. It might have been when I started going off track. 6 cents says, okay, I'll wait. We'll comment until you catch up. Totally. Starbright's got the thumbs up. It's good to see you here too, Starbright. Timothy Gallagher says, GTG, enjoy what comes. Starbright's got the hands, the waving hands. Conan says, I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you for saying that, Conan. It's good to see you here again. Jamie says, he still sparks loudly. Thank you. 6 cents says, sending you a virtual hug, Jamie. Australiana says, Jamie Knott, I shall pray and I shall pray for and hope that you know being loved when you pass is just as amazing as being loved. When they passed, he's flying around in a red car. That's a beautiful comment. Australia, or she. Australiana says, or she. That's exactly it. He or she. I like to think that they're flying around in a red car, maybe in the sky. They're just flying around. Jamie says, thank you all, with the hearts and the feather and the hearts. He's my own angel, my own archangel, Michael. Australiana says, Jamie, I wove. Wow. Australiana says, Jamie, I wove 1,549 wreaths to reflect the days my sister has passed. It helped. Wow, you did another 549, or you'd done over 1,000, you said. But that's a lot of wreaths. And that's special. And your sister she'll love that you did that for her. Jamie says, I love that, Australiana. Australiana says, him and the other 43 that I downloaded URL addresses of, it changed laws. Awesome. You did good. And just help the bill change. There has been uber justice. It's okay, and why I'm still here. I'm so glad to hear that. I didn't realize you did the work. I didn't realize you actually had to do, like, get there. Like, you must have had to, like, you found the machine or the computer, and you did, like, awesome. Good on you for doing that. And you had to, like, you found out who they were, and then you gave that to the police, and they fucking went after them. Good on you. So what happened? It helped. It changed the laws, yes, which helped to make it. That's good. But like, hopefully, these people, like 43 other people, hopefully they got charged or something. 6 cents Amelia says, I like the folding wreaths idea too. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, it's a beautiful idea. 1,549. That's amazing. Australiana says, I'm on a task force for a group and we get them. Between weaving wreaths, intel is fun. My rage is directed always. Awesome. Good on you. No statute of limitation in your case, and I'm affiliated at the moment with new victims of commissioner's office. Just saying, come and visit. Now I know why we met. No liaison. Complain, we act. Awesome. Yeah, I'd like to talk to you. Like, I'm still very cautious of it, of going into details because I'm so fearful of like. Even though like there were so many witnesses to this thing, it doesn't stop me from fearing like me being taken out, basically. And I don't fear for my life now as much as I did in the past. Jamie says, I had guns drawn on me by the law for the man I blew the whistle on. I have suffered the consequences of my abusers, not just in this situation. See, that's horrible. That you've had like it turned on you. You know what I mean? How messed up is that? You know? How messed up is that you were like threatened with like literally had guns drawn on you? 6 cents a minute says listening along with the heart. Australiana says, yeah, victims assist pays you for witnessing. No charges needed, just evidence from docs. It's not that hard. We become hard. Yeah, well, I mean, this was like 27 years ago. It's a long time ago this thing happened. But that's a long time I've lived with it, and what do I do? In a lot of ways, it's probably best I just live my life and move on. That's what I was wanting to do. That's why I reached out to a liaison officer and asked, can you please just call me and help me move on from this? Never even got a phone call. Six Cents Amelia says, yeah, no apologies necessarily for telling the truth. Yeah, totally. Thank you. Yeah, look, I did get upset because, well,
got upset, but then I was apologizing because I felt bad for like getting upset and speaking in a upset tone. I like smiling. I like you know me. I like being happy and smiling and laughing and stuff. I don't want to be angry and all that stuff. But thank you for that. It means a lot to me to hear you say that because this stuff really did hurt me. It still hurts me and still affects me to this day. Yeah. Australiana says, I'm going to help you, Luke. Human Rights Commission, Google how to help and complain. Don't get upset. Get even. No money needed. Fill the forms. Victims Charter is a start. Yeah. I have a friend who's a lawyer, and she said that, and not even just that stuff, like other stuff that happened to me. She said, you're eligible for victims of crime, and like they can give you like money to help start your life again. $10,000 or $20,000 to help you get your life back on track. And I really wish I sort of followed that more because that would have changed everything last year. Like nothing would happen the way it turned out. Because what happened is, and this was the other stuff that I was dealing with, like the childhood, like abuse that had been re-traumatized me. I shut my business down because of it. I reduced all my client base down to like 2 or 3 people, and I basically shut my business down. I wasn't making much money. I was making enough to live. I wasn't making enough money to save. I was making enough money to live. I wasn't making enough money to go on holidays or anything. It all fell apart in the end, and I just had to keep reducing down my clients down to nothing until I finally shut my business. But that wasn't until after I went through a life crisis. So if I'd actually gone and pushed for this stuff, I could have had the opportunity to actually take time out and recover. Things would have been completely different. I wouldn't have gone through what I went through. So yeah, we'll keep in contact, Australiana. We'll keep talking about this. Jamie says 100%. Jamie says, believe that's why we're here in the world. Yeah, thank you, Jamie. That's it. We're all connected for a reason, aren't we? Are you sure? Says Luke, you got you. That's priceless. You're whole. Thank you so much. Are you sure? That's a beautiful comment. That's really reassuring. It makes me understand that yes, things are going to get better. Baby Stag's here. Awesome to see you, Baby Stag. So good to see you here. Baby Stag says, hey, baby, hope you're all great. I've been blocked from y'all since the last time we're here. It keeps denying me access. I love y'all. I can't stay. I have a big day tomorrow. I'm so sorry you keep getting... You said that last time that it was kept saying private. I'm really sorry that happens. I don't know why. Like,
I've been trying I haven't been like talking about stuff to get me censored. I remember when I was like, I did that stream a few months ago now, or a month and a half ago, and I was like worried about getting censored because I was going to expose some malfeasance and some bad stuff, and then I did get censored, or my internet cut out. I don't know. Who knows? No, I'll never know. But I'm really sorry that that's happening. And I know that last time you joined, you said that it was saying private, couldn't join. And I've subscribed to you as a channel. So it should, I don't know why that's the case. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm subscribed. I'm even going to give the bell icon. So like YouTube should know that you're more than welcome here. But yeah, you got a big day. You can't stay long. Baby Stag says, yeah, prepping for businesses meeting Monday morning early. Baby Stag says, enjoy your weekend and don't stress shit. Just play and be mwah. Thanks, Baby Stag. You're a legend. Much love. 6 Cents Amelia says, with the waves to Starbright. 6 Cents Amelia's got the waves to Conan, and the 6 Cents Amelia's got the waves to Baby Stag. 6 Cents Amelia says, dyscalculia is a learning disorder that affects a person's ability to understand number-based information and math. Thank you very much. I'm going to write that down. Because I reckon that's what, because there's I can understand mathematics, but there's certain things that just don't work. Are you sure? Says Luke, can I share another app? Yeah, of course. 6 Cents Amelia says, be right back. Are you sure? Says, I started training and there's growth. Awesome. Australiana says, if you live at home because you think you need to, you will. I do at home. I live at home now because it turned out really good because it means that I'm here for my mum and my dad, but especially my mum, and I'm not going to be here forever. I'll move out again, but I've been here for a while now, so. But you're right. I needed to. When I moved back home, I needed to move back home. Starbright says, growth is wonderful. Are you sure? Australiana says, Jamie, oh my God, colourful part. Jamie says, I got a phone call, but I'm back, with the heart and the smiley face. Jamie says, the bigger the dreamer, the more colourful the path. That's a beautiful comment. So I think I've actually caught up with the chat. How awesome is that? After all that, I've caught up with the chat. Like, it's, when I do that, it's such an amazing feat. It's like, wow. Because I did go off on, like I did. I'm glad I went and said that stuff before, because I meant every single word I said. And that, I appreciate that stuff. And Australiana saying, she's wants to help me out. With all that stuff, like, it's
in a lot of cases it's too late. That's why I'm saying, like I said in the description of the video, I was like, you know, in reality, I'm owed all this money, and there's like 6 entities that, like separate entities over a 40-year period, that are responsible for this, and they're all going to fight over who owes what. There's no way I'm going to get a cent from any of them anyway. So my way of looking at it is I've just got to try and start something from nothing, or almost nothing. So I got this idea for this charity. Why not start it from nothing, from $1? See what I can do. Australiana says, I love that. I was wondering what to paint on my daughter's canvas for her room. A validating phrase, that is. I love that, Australiana. Jamie says, yes, with the rainbow. Australiana, I love that. Was able to assist. That's awesome. So good. It's been a really nice chat this morning. It's like 11 o'clock. How long have we been going? Almost 3 hours. I'll probably will end the chat soon, just because I've been up all night. I've been up since yesterday at about 4 in the afternoon. So I'm pretty tired now, and I've managed to actually communicate through all this. Australiana says, you have an archangel, Michael. Mine is Michaela. They fly together. That's beautiful. Jamie's got the feathers and the hearts and the feathers and the flames. It has been an awesome morning, you know. I really appreciate everyone being here with me while I got to actually speak about my frustration about what I've gone through. And I did it in a way where I didn't have to speak in details. And that's what I'm always frightened about, is drawing attention, you know, because obviously the people are well aware that I'm aware, and they're watching and waiting for me to say something that would expose them, that I'd either get shut down or, you look, I'm not afraid anymore. I've already spent enough time being afraid, you know. But I'm not vindictive. I'm not out for revenge. You know, I want to amend. I don't want to avenge. I want to make things better. And that's not just, it's for myself, just as much as for other people as well. So that's why I like everyone's attitude here, you know, like Australiana says, thanks, Luke. This is great. This is great. Chat soon. Watch the link if you can about the brain and what happens to S or what are we happening to it. Very interesting. I'll look for the link. But Australiana, just email me if you want. Like, my email's on my YouTube page.
you want to send more stuff. Australiana says, I know journalists for Royal Commission. That'll help. Grow hope. Stays focused. Thank you so much. Jamie says, you need rest, Luke, with the heart and the stars. With another heart, with the green heart. Thank you for helping me let the sun down for the day. Yeah, I'm really sorry that this is an anniversary of something, of a loss for you. And I hope that you can spend it thinking about the good times and the good memories. Australiana says, you do you, boo. That's awesome. Will Sand, yeah, that's it. Send us an email and we'll chat. So I'll end the stream the next couple of minutes. So it's a good opportunity. We're all saying good night to each other, or good day. Like it's 10 o'clock in the morning here. It's summer solstice. We're not even halfway through the day. So if it's 11 o'clock, we're still like an hour and a half before we're halfway through the day. Even a little bit longer than that. So I don't know the exact science behind it all, but apparently the sun is at its most vertical. Although it's actually, when you think about it, it wouldn't be, because it's so far in the south. Wouldn't it be like the equinox? I think that's the case. I'm too tired to even think about this stuff right now. But that's it. Everyone, thank you all for being here. Thank you for such a lovely chat and for supporting me, and we've all been supporting each other. Thank you for allowing me to speak and say what I need to say. And I've said it now. And I can move on from this stuff. Jamie says, absolutely am with the star. Yeah, that's it. So, all right. It's a very difficult thing. Loss, grief and loss. And, I'm like, the fact that we've been able to be here with you today and to you've been here with me and helping me out, and we've been here for you, and I think that's what it's all about. We're all here for each other. So I appreciate that with this, and Jamie says it's 7:07 p.m. here. There you go. So you're
technically your solstice hasn't started yet. But then, like I said, solstice goes over 3 days. So technically it's the 21st.
Are you sure? It says it's 8:08 or 20 hours 8 minutes. Jamie says, until we meet again, everyone,
With the hearts and the stars.
I needed this evening.
Well, thank you. I could say that I can say the same thing. I needed this as well, and so thank you all for being here. Starbright's got the heart. Thank you, Starbright. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you, everyone. Like, I look forward. I'm gonna stream again tomorrow night, 6 o'clock my time. So it's going to be early in the morning in the States and in Canada. Hope to see everyone there or whoever's there. If not, I'll try again for this time next week. Much love to everyone. Thank you.